Okay, it's pop quiz time. Where does 1/3 of your entire digestive process take place? Well, I'm going to give you a hint. It's not in your stomach. But let's back up a bit before we go there. I was one of those guys, I grew up eating everything. I had a big appetite. I grew up in a house, there was 4 kids. We were all very busy. We had lots of friends coming by. There was always lots of people, lots of moving parts, and lots of food. And I loved it. I had a huge appetite, and I would eat whatever was in front of me. And you know what? I was not thinking anything of it. I was going through my teens and upwards into my early 20s before I started to realize that, yeah, certain foods were making me feel a little different. But not only that, I was starting to noticing how I was eating was making me feel a little different. The more rushed I was, the more bigger sized gulps I was taking, I was noticing that this was actually starting to impact my digestion. And that's going to take us back to what the whole point of this video is. 1/3 of your digestion takes place in your mouth. And that may not surprise you, but the amount of the digestion that takes place there does surprise most people. And we actually take this for granted. When we chew our food, we are not only breaking the pieces apart so that we can send them downstream with smaller chunks. This is called mastication. This is very important. But that mechanical breaking down of the foods is just one part of why chewing is so beneficial. Chewing also signifies an entire downstream cascade of enzyme secretions, gastric acid juices, different types of bile acids and hydrochloric acids. All of these things are meant to break down different types of food particles. And without proper chewing, we don't get the proper signaling downstream. And so what can happen is we can literally send undigested food particles into our stomach. And this goes into an area that reminds me of a famous saying somebody once told me. It says, our stomach does not have teeth, and we need to treat it properly. And so by properly chewing our food, which I'll teach you in a moment, this is how we're going to create much better levels of absorption. We're going to create much less inflammation in our body, and ultimately, we're going to achieve better levels of health. So how do we chew properly? This may sound very simple, but there is a little bit of technique to it. But we're not going to overthink this. All you're going to do is you're going to chew your food until it is mush. Chew until mush. That is the key motto. So if you have a banana, it's going to be very simple. Few chews, and that's going to be very easily broken into a very mushy consistency that you can swallow very easily. If you're chewing a steak, on the other hand, you may need to chew this 20 to 30 or more times. And these are all things that you're going to take into consideration when you're eating your food. And so this is something that you can start applying right away. Don't hesitate. This is an easy tip. This is going to help you improve your absorption of your nutrients. It's going to reduce the inflammation throughout your entire body. And in some instances, we're seeing that it actually can reduce caloric intake, which can really help assist people with weight loss and further inflammatory issues throughout their body. So for some more free tips and some helpful guides, please jump over to the Healthy Gut Institute, and I will see you at the next video.